Oregon State, Gary Anderson, the head coach there, I've known for a while because he was in the WAC at Utah State and did a phenomenal job there and did a great job at Wisconsin. I really respect him and what he does. His teams are all extremely tough, and he's doing a good job of getting Oregon State going. And he is a heck of a football coach, and it's going to be a heck of a battle Saturday. So I'll take any questions at this time.
Coach, the team's done a great job of focusing week to week on just the next opponent, but I'm wondering, after such a big win, you seem to enjoy yourself on the field on Saturday. How much time did you allow yourself to enjoy it over the weekend, Sunday, before getting back to work for this week?
You need to enjoy the wins, especially on the field. And then our kids did a good job. And then we got back here, and there was about 200 fans here at 1 o'clock in the morning, about 75% of them students. It was exciting for our kids. They went around and gave them all high fives, and we talked to them, and that was really neat. And I got up that next morning at about 7 o'clock, and we got home about 2 or 3, and then went to church. And after church was over, I was back here, watched our film, and so I'd say about 1 o'clock I was on to Oregon State, and so was the rest of our team, and ready to roll. So we've had 2 good days of practice, and so we'll just keep pushing that way.
Sorry, to piggyback on what Pat and Rooney just said, you're so emotional on that sideline. I was just wondering, what was going through your mind, and when you hugged your son, was it just remembering of the seniors who didn't get to that point, or what was going through your mind?
Well, when it was 33-17, I was hoping it was going to be 40-17, and it wouldn't have probably been as emotional, to be honest with you. It would have been able to handle all that at times. But the way it ended, the way they kept fighting, they just never gave up. And we haven't really done that against an excellent football team, especially on the road. And to kind of get over that hump for those young men, and they've been working so hard, When somebody asked me, like, when Akello intercepted his pass, what did you do? Well, I was excited. Then I was thinking about how much time we had left and what we needed to do and all of that type of thing. And then after we kind of got it all settled and I realized, the last snap was going, I really started thinking of Akello and his dad Lucky and his mom Bobby, because recruiting him and all the different things. So in college, it's a little bit different. You recruit these young men, you watch them grow up. They're in your office a lot. They go through different things, which is fun to watch them mature through, but sometimes you want to pull your hair out. And it was just exciting when you looked at our guys and what they've been through and how they did it. I knew that would be I thought it would be a great, great life lesson. I mean, I literally thought of all this stuff in the last minute. And how they've grown as a group of men, and then excited for what they got in front of them. And every notch like that, I can talk to them blue in the face, and they do believe and they do listen. But now they kind of get that in their belt, so to speak. It's a lot easier to believe. It's a lot easier to fight through different things and sacrifice things they have to sacrifice to be as good as they want to be.
Coach, Tim Lynott was a guy you're definitely excited about.
Timmy.
About getting a big in-state recruit for you, and already as a redshirt freshman, he stepped into a starting role. What has been your impression of him so far and how he's handled himself?
Well, he's athletic. He does a great job pulling for us. He's an excellent guard inside. He does a good job pass protecting. I think he'll be a 4-year starter and do really well. He also has a really good. I don't know if the word's presence to him, but the game's not too big for him. He's ready to step in and take his role and play. We thought about playing him some as a true freshman. We just didn't think he was quite mature or strong enough yet. And I think we made the right decision by waiting and then let him have the whole spring practice and another workout, whole fall camp. And he's proven to be a legitimate Pac-12 football player.
Like we were talking earlier about signature wins and what constitute a signature win, and I think we came up with the idea that, like, let's say if Oregon could be a signature win, it really matters what happens after Oregon. In the past, Colorado's beaten some teams like Kansas when they were good, and Georgia and West Virginia, but they went on losing streaks after. So what's the recipe look like to build off this Oregon win and make it a signature win?
Well, I think for our guys and our team, Oregon's beat us 51-12 over the years. since we came into the Pac-12. To go do that, I think that's a signature win for our program, and for understanding and going and beating them on the road. You know, our football team did something that no Colorado football team's ever done and will ever do again, I hope, is play on the East Coast one week and play on the West Coast the next week in a Michigan stadium and an Oregon stadium. That's a tough duty to do for anybody. And for us to do that when everybody thought we had no chance in either game, and we played well in both games, just didn't only won one of them, I think shows that our guys have stepped up to believing they can truly beat anybody. So I think in their minds and in their hearts, it is a signature statement to them. We really can stand toe-to-toe with heavyweight programs, and we need to be a heavyweight again. So we used to be a welterweight. I think we stepped up into at least being able to spar with the heavyweights. And the more games we win, we'll see if we're a heavyweight.
Coach, watching that halftime interview during that game, you seemed to have a different conviction in your voice, a different look in your eyes when you said, "Not today. It's not happening today." Did you see something? What was it?
Yeah, I could see in the young men's eyes, and we kind of let them back in it too. But we kept battling and looking around the sidelines. They just all kept playing. Where in the past you'd be having, "Come on, get up, get up, get up." No, they just kept playing. I could just see, and I saw that at Michigan too, when it kind of unraveled, and then all of a sudden we answered the bell at the beginning of the third quarter, which I thought was pretty impressive by those young men, and then didn't finish it like we'd like, but I definitely saw it in their eyes and definitely saw it in their work ethic and their attitude and the maturity, and it wasn't like you're having to get them up in the locker room at halftime. They were ready to go again. They wanted to get back out there. And and even when they caught back up and went ahead, you could see they wanted to get back out there and play. So they could feel it.
Coach, after a win like that, there's a lot of momentum in the fan base, and CU hasn't had a home sellout in about 5 years. What kind of atmosphere are you expecting on Saturday afternoon against Oregon State?
I don't know. I hope we always enjoy playing. I really do. Our kids always love playing in Folsom. We love the grass. We love the scenery. We love our own locker room. We love running out behind Ralphie. The crowd's so tight on you. Even when there might not be a packed house, it's loud. And so I would love to see a packed house. And, the more we keep being successful, the more that'll happen. And, I believe that it definitely will keep happening. So we want to make sure we want to make those fans proud. There's no doubt about it. And it was. I think our players were really excited when we turned the corner and they saw those students standing there in the morning, Sunday morning at 1 a.m. I thought that they said, "Whoa, what are they?" I said, "Yeah, I told you there'd probably be some people here." So they were excited about that. So. We love playing in Folsom. We would love to play in front of a packed house, but that's also our job to keep being successful, and then it will happen.
So, Cepho's your leader. Montez played great. What's your plan with those two going forward?
Well, Cepho still isn't completely well right now. He did a little bit more today in practice. We'll just see how the week goes along. See how it plays out with his leg. Yeah. Oregon State, offensively, they can make a lot of plays. Their quarterback, Garrettson's a good player. He's a good athlete. I knew about him from high school. You might remember his grandfather, Garrettson, who was the NBA referee. So there's a great bloodline of athletics in their family. Boulder, their wide receiver, number 6, can fly. He made some big plays on us last year. He's also an excellent returner. I think he's number 1 in the country right now in kickoff returns and punt returns, I guess, combined. But I think kickoff, he leads the country. And, offensively, their offensive line is big. And they have a huge running back, Ryan Nall, who pretty much ran over us some parts of the game last year. So we've got to really be able to control him and tackle him better. He's a physical young man. And then defensively, they're playing a lot more man coverage. I like their secondary. They're more athletic, I think, than they were last year. I like their safeties, number 9 and number 3. Brandon Arnold and Devin Chappelle, I think they're really good players. They're big and athletic. And then number 47, I can't pronounce his last name, but I'll call his first name Bright. He's a very good pass rusher. So I've been impressed with what they did. They they had a couple mistakes in the Boise game that kind of got them behind quick, but they kept battling. They had a chance. It should have been 31-24 with about 8 minutes to go in the fourth quarter, but they didn't get it done. So they've got a good football team. They're a much improved football team from last year when we played them.
Coach, when you guys got off the bus Sunday at the Champions Center, I thought I saw Jay in a sling with his arm.
He did.
Is he okay? Has he been practicing?
Yeah, he practiced today in a blue jersey. He hyperextended his elbow, so his arm is swollen and all that. But they X-rayed it and did all the things. He's going to be fine. He's just got to get all the swelling out of it. So they did that to keep him in a sling. So hopefully he'll be able to go full speed Saturday. We'll know more as the week goes along.
Coach, you see a lot. Obviously, Stephen was a great example. Colorado State, Colin Hill is a freshman who's stepped in and done pretty well for them. It seems these days that their freshmen are a little bit more prepared, young players a little bit more prepared to step into that role, maybe given the proliferation of passing camps and all these things that they do. Do you sense that young guys are maybe more ready to step in and shoulder that load than maybe they were in the past?
I think it's the different individual or your different system. If a quarterback comes out of a system where they weren't doing a lot of reads and a lot of throws, it might be a little bit harder for them, but they might have all the talent and skills. I think every situation is different. I was fortunate we were able to redshirt Stephen last year, and then the spring that he had with Cepho not out there was able to give him he got a lot more reps than he would have, and I think that repetition, and then in fall camp he did well. So I think that he was I think it was the right time for Stephen to go play, and I felt like he would play well. I can't say, I'd be lying if I said I think he'd be break the first record of any quarterback in the history of Colorado in his first game on the road at Oregon. But he had he did really well.
Mike, you mentioned Ryan Nall and what he did to you guys last year.
Yeah.
And you guys had him wrapped up several times in the backfield, and he was able to get out of those and make some big gains.
Exactly.
Do you feel like just in general you guys are a better tackling team, and that
if
you can get him, you'll get him down?
Yeah, we're a better tackling team. I think we tackled pretty well against Oregon Saturday compared to what we have. We missed a couple. You're going to miss them. I mean, that's what they major college football players. But we need to tackle Ryan better than we did. And he's a big load. You have to tackle him a little bit different. If you hit him up high, he's so big. You've got to hit him a little bit lower and wrap him up. The key is wrapping him up. You cannot just try to knock him down. He's not going to go down easily. He runs really well, and he's faster than you think. I mean, I've watched some games from even last year too. We've watched this year's, we watched last year. He ran away from Oregon on a long run there, which I thought was really impressive. He's a good football player.
Coach, you've had a couple of those emotional moments, even last year against Oregon State.
Uh-huh.
Cheeto, when he was up here, said even he had tears of joy in his eyes this last game. Was that the first time you had seen that from your players?
No, I've seen it, quite often when we have had those types of moments, and that was, I mean, when you get beat pretty good by a team, and then you've come that far. I mean, Cheeto was on the field as a freshman against them. I don't know, it was a score like 63 to, I don't know. They took a knee, it could have been 70, I think. And so when you're out there and you're seeing them taking a knee and you're going, God, they could score 70 on us, and you're going, wow, I got to keep working, I got to keep going. And then you see that happen 3 years later. I mean, that's pretty rewarding. I think in anything you do in life, and especially when you're 18 to now 21, learning that and listening and hearing and keep working, and, the group of us all believing in each other when they probably get bombarded outside on different things is a phenomenal life lesson, because they're going to face harder things in life in the future. And I really pray that they will be able to fall back on that. If you just keep moving forward, and you keep working hard, and you keep doing that. Now they need to learn the other side of that. Yes, we're better. We're a good football team, like I said all along. Now we got to keep doing it. And in the game of football, things change. People get hurt. Different things change. You're a different football team all the time. And so this week we're a little bit different football team than we were last week. Oregon State's a little bit different. It's a little bit different circumstance. We're playing at home. You can't get comfortable. You got to keep working. You got to keep pushing, and you got to do the things that your habits dictate who you're going to be. Your habits dictate who you're going to be as a person too. And so hopefully they're learning. If I put in the good habits, I can be a good football player. If I put in the good habits off the field and who I am as a person, then I'm going to be a good person. All of that is a life lesson to me. Boy, you're asking a lot of questions today. You just sit back there and calculate. All right.
As far as Cepho and Steven go, is it as simple as if Cepho's 90% or 100% are ready to go, he's still quarterback one, or can Steven get himself into the conversation with another out-of-this-world performance? How does that work going forward?
Well, that's a great question. It's all going to depend on how hot our team is at the time. I mean, and on how that works. And everybody understands that in sports. And so we need both of them because somebody's going to get dinged up. It's the way the game goes. And we need both of those guys ready to play and ready to go.
Coach, could you update Jalil Awini's status? Is there a chance he could play football for you this season?
Yes, there is a good chance he could play for us this year. He's had some back issues. He's been with the doctors. He's been with our trainers. He's working hard on his core. We're letting that kind of, I guess the best word is calm down a little bit. And he's doing more this week. And I'm hoping that he could be back for our last 6 games is what we're all hoping. And if he keeps moving like he is right now, he will be. I don't know how big his role will be. I know he'll play on special teams. We just got to see how he recovers from his back injury. And that's been tough on him. What a great young man. And, you know, he's been through a lot, and this year looked really promising, and then this hit him, and he wants to keep trying and keep going, and I sure would love to see 16 back out there. There's no doubt.